Welcome to Behind the Doors, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of residential real estate investing. I'm your host, Dan Noma Jr., here with my co-host, Marvin Cruz.
We're here to help you unlock the best strategies and practice for investors. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro looking to scale your portfolio.
We've spent decades navigating the ever-changing world of real estate, and now we're sharing everything we've learned to help you succeed.
From off-market deals to cash flow management and everything in between, we'll break it down and bring you actionable insights that can make a real difference in your investments.
So get ready to open the door to new opportunities and take your real estate investing to the next level. Let's dive in. All right, Marv. Listen, we've got Branden here. CIAS is what we're talking about. We're talking about the Certified Investor Agent Specialist designation, certification that Branden educates and teaches agents on. I kind of became familiar with this through during the foreclosure short sale saga, 2007 to 10. Yeah. There was a group out there that was educating. They called it Certified Distressed Property Expert. And then they came out with this designation, the CIAS designation, right? And, and I was interested in this idea, right? Because it was like the other side of the table. But man, I got to tell you, like, I think that there's a couple things going on in our industry that like real estate agents should like tune in, listen up. Like this is real conversation. There is the real estate market, number of transactions is down by 30%, yep. Right? At least. Some markets it's worse. Some markets might be a little bit better. 30% generally across the market. There's less transactions. You as an agent have to figure out a way how to squeeze the juice out of every single transaction that you get your hands on. Every lead you've got became more valuable. All of those, everything you've touched now is like gold, right? And so I think that you've got to figure out ways that you not only can earn more on these transactions, but help your clients maximize what they can get and what they can get out of these transactions. And that's not always money, right? Sometimes it's speed, sometimes it's convenience, sometimes it's, I'm moving out of town and I need the certainty that my property sold, right? And then there's like distress that shows up in like all kinds of different ways, shape, and forms. Financial, like I always say, like I buy distressed properties to people and they think all I buy is like properties that look like teardowns, Right. But distress shows up in like credit card debt. Yep. That doesn't have a face, like right. That's a different thing. So I'm glad you're here. I'm excited that we can, help you or help agents really get more education on working with real estate investors and then becoming real estate investors themselves. So tell us about the course itself. Like what's an agent going to learn when they take the certification?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So it's 12 hours of great, well-rounded training around residential real estate investing. So single family homes, 2 to 4 units, a great overview of the benefits of investing in real estate compared to stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, how to build a team, how to properly understand what an investor is and their goals, how you can be an extension of that. We teach short form math, just enough to get you excited about it. Self-directed IRAs, 1031 exchanges. We do a deep dive into how to proactively find deals instead of reactively waiting for things to happen. And I'll give you a quick example. If you get good at this, you'll find a deal every week. And if, what are people really wanting to see in their social media feed? Just listed or, hey, I just found a deal. Think about that, right? From just that perspective. Becoming the go-to agent in an area where investors know, trust, and believe that you're going to help them grow their portfolio or help them build wealth, and you learn how to do it along the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think there's so much, missed information or missed opportunity for real estate agents out there. A lot of like the education that I see right now is like heavily focused on recruiting. So, and that's fair. Like, I think that industry's, that's like a different business within the business, so that's something. Yep. And I'm super excited for all of those that have gotten rich doing that. But at the end of the day, sales is like what we do, and sales is what we sell real estate. And you got to get some education around this sector of real estate because it is a big sector of real estate. We did a longer episode with you, and I think you shared with us that, in a lot of markets that 1 in 3 transactions is sold to a real estate investor of some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Right? And millions of homes across the country are owned by real estate investors.
Yeah.
And you might be able to fumble and like do this,
Right.
but with 12 hours of training, you get everything you're going to need, right? I love your guys' like toolkit and all of the material,
Calculators, tons of resources, marketing.
And they're not alone, right? It's like a community beyond.
It's a community beyond, but it's very eye-opening, not just in the sense that you mentioned maybe 1 in 3 transactions or 1 in 4 transactions as an investor. A traditional real estate agent lives in the world of the MLS.
Yep.
And we know in our area that 22 to 28% of actual transactions are off market.
Yep.
So you're already missing out on opportunity because you live in the world of just the MLS to a certain degree.
Right.
You mentioned convenience. How many sellers just want to talk about the best way to get their property sold without necessarily having to go through the normal traditional channels of listing it?
Yeah.
Right. So there's an old, adage out there, the hammer analogy.
Yeah.
And if the only tool you have is a hammer, then all the problems you see in the world are nails. Right?
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just think, if you're an agent out there, you've got an opportunity to take this training. Don't wait until the next market cycle. Like, take it now.
Yep.
Get yourself educated because these deals are happening now, right? And those that take advantage of it are going to have amazing opportunity. Even if this is just like a fraction of your business, like, I'm not telling you to change your business.
Right.
Like, that's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm just telling you to have this knowledge base. On the way over here, I gave you guys a story of an agent that I've known for 20 years. And she said to me that she had a opportunity to list a property that had, some deferred maintenance, and it was a very ugly property. She wasn't comfortable taking it to market, and that the owners wanted to sell the property for cash, but she didn't know what to do, right? She didn't know how to price it. She didn't know who to send it to. She didn't know how to exit it, but they signed the listing agreement with her.
Right.
And then she called me to help her, do it. It's just another thing you got to know, right?
Well,
it's
but
just
there's
like part of our industry. You just have to understand it.
Yeah, you do. But I think there's a better way, right? We have the automated valuation model that we're competing with, this estimate, right, as an example. But none of that really is the same as having boots on the ground, right? To your point. So one of the great things we teach is how to reverse engineer that property. In other words, what's its highest and best use? Based on that highest and best use, can you price accordingly and then work backwards? Because that's really, at the end of the day, what an investor is looking at too, right? Whether it's cash flow, the buy and most of our investors, it's not that interest rate they don't care about, but if it's a deal, it's a deal. They don't care about the interest rate.
Right.
If it makes sense, it makes sense.
That's it.
Right.
They're buying the return on the money. That's what they're buying. The
absolutely.
return on their dollar.
That's it.
And that doesn't require, a fancy window or a fancy front door. It requires how much am I going to make when I own this property?
So even though you took this course a while ago, how many agents could use it, and where else have you seen this taught?
Oh man.
Right.
I think I see it every day, right? I literally see it every day, and missed opportunities by agents not maximizing, their knowledge base, even if they just become an investor themselves, right?
Right.
If you have like a hair's interest in becoming a real estate investor yourself or owning a rental property to create wealth for yourself, take this course because it's not expensive. It's 12 hours and you get everything that you need in order to practice at a pretty high level if you consider that most agents don't have this kind of training.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And I agree with it. And again, I think what helps is that confidence knowing that you have tools, support, resources.
Yep.
It's not a one and done thing. It's a community.
Yep.
And you might not find a deal in your backyard, but we have agents in other markets that have deals, and worst case scenario, you get a referral fee.
Yep.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of that.
Man, get signed up. Try the CIAS training. Brandon, where do we find the website?
CIASdesignation.com.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Doors. We hope you found today's insights valuable for your real estate investing journey.
Remember, real estate success doesn't happen overnight, but with the right tools and strategies, you can build long-term wealth and create passive income.
If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with others who are passionate about real estate investing.
Don't forget to follow us on social media for more tips and exclusive content.
Until next time, keep unlocking new opportunities, and we'll see you on the next episode of Behind the Doors.